Hello, MUS 2020 students. This is just a quick video to show you a couple of the changes that have been made between Ableton Live 9 and Ableton Live 10 that you need to keep in mind for your second project because we're going to be dealing with automation. The first thing to know is that the MIDI keyboard using your built-in laptop keyboard has changed. You now have to explicitly enable it by clicking this button up here, shaped like a MIDI keyboard, or you can press the M key on your keyboard. And now I can play on channel 1, and that works. Cool. But if I want to do anything with automation, I have to disable that again by either clicking this MIDI keyboard that's currently glowing yellow, or by hitting the M key. The reason for that is that now, in order to engage with the automation, I need to hit a hotkey, which is the letter A. And if that were turned on the MIDI, then that would just play a note. So you can see I've already entered some automation points here, and you do that by selecting a device. In this case, I'm going to edit the mixer for this particular channel, and I've got track volume selected. At that point, I can go in and I can grab any point on the line to create a breakpoint and adjust where they are. I can make them louder, I can make them softer. If I hold down Alt on PC or Option on Mac, I get this little curve icon. We'll do it over here, which I can then grab the curve and adjust it to make it, in this case, it's logarithmic, or how about exponential? Hey. Those are going to give you some more options. They're going to make that sound a little bit more like a human is actually doing the automation. And I can do that with any track, but keep in mind with some devices, you're only going to have a couple of device parameters up here and then your mixer. With your drum kits, however, I have a ton of these different parameters, and then I have the mixer. And then with my audio track, I only have the mixer. So then I can edit the basic things like speaker on, that would be your mute, track panning, which is if it's in the left or the right, track volume, crossfade assign, that's something that if you're really interested in, talk to me at office hours about. It's not really something we use in this class. And then sends to the auxiliary return tracks like reverb and delay, which are your defaults. I can also, if I want to do automation a little bit more human style, I can do that. I need to first click on ARM Automation, which are these two breakpoints that are connected by a line. And then what I want to do is make sure that all of my tracks are not record enabled. I know it seems counterintuitive, but if they are record enabled, what's going to happen is going to overwrite the data. So now I'm going to hit Tab to get out of Arrangement View and go to Session View. And I'm going to edit the automation for these two panning knobs. So I've got one that is all the way to the right for my drums, and then my chords are all the way to the left. So again, automation arm is enabled. Now I'm going to start recording, and then any changes that I make get that little red dot in front of the parameter that's been automated. So that can work with anything. I can do a little bit of crazy glitch chords or drums, and I could do sending to the master bus. We'll do both. And since I have cycle turned on, this is recording in a cycle. So I've now got a bunch of different parameters that I've gone through over those 8 bars. And you can see I can switch to things like speaker on. Hey, that looks kind of cool. A little glitchy, maybe hopefully dubsteppy. I'm probably not going to do that, but you know, maybe if I dropped it into a bass register instead. You can see how I've sent things to the reverb channel. And you'll note that there are just a ton of these little breakpoints here. In fact, if I zoom in on that area, yeah, we have a bunch of those. So I'm going to select all of them from here to about there and hit delete. And that only leaves one at the beginning and one at the end, with an extra one that I need to manually destroy. Like so. I can do that just by double-clicking it. This is slightly different from Ableton Live 9, where you first would have to click on that little plus button to send the automation into a separate lane. It's just a different thing they've changed in 10. In Live 9, if you try and do this in the lane without hitting that plus and sending it to its own separate lane, then you will somehow manage to edit more than you wanted to. It will probably delete audio if you selected a large region of automation points and hit delete instead. So again, though, the ones you need to be careful of are you need to have the letter A to enable editing the automation manually. So there is disabled, and here's enabled. Then you select the device or the mixer for the channel, and then you select the parameter that you want to edit the automation for. And that's really just about it. If you have any questions, I will be happy to answer them either via email or in the office hours.